Hello and welcome back to A Life Redesigned. I am Lynette. In our last conversation, we talked about that special, powerful moment when you decided to take back your life by saying and embodying that you will not keep living a life that no longer fits the woman that you are becoming. But if we know our life isn't going the way we envision, why do we often stay in that life situation so long? Why do we resist that call for change? Sometimes for years, like in my case, or sometimes even for decades. So today I want to share with you what I know now about why we stay too long in lives that no longer feel fulfilling for us. They don't serve our current values and what we want in terms of alignment for our life going forward. Now, I'm not here to blame why you stay too long and why you stay too long and why you stay too long because I've been there. I stayed too long. I am just here to share the patterns. So, the first pattern would be safety and routine. Now, it's just part of our human tendency to find comfort and safety in familiarity, even if it's uncomfortable. You don't feel fulfilled, but you keep doing it because it's routine, it's so familiar to you. And you know what they say? The devil you know is often less terrifying than the devil you don't. Now, the next pattern is around our identities and roles because our lives have often been deeply intertwined with our identities and the roles that we play, whether it's community organizer, the wife, the mother, the professional caretaker, the mm, okay. Now, the next pattern is around identities and roles. Our lives are so often deeply intertwined with our identities and the roles we play, whether it's daughter, mother, wife, professional, community organizer, the go to person to resolve all the issues. And to leave a life means to shed a part of who we think we are. And that in itself can be incredibly unsettling, so terrifying for so many women. But recall that one part, shedding a part of who we think we are. We may have once been that person. We may have once met all expectations around our life, all the unwritten rules that we followed. Yet, is it really who you were or who you wanted to be? Now, the next pattern is seeking external validation. Now, we have a fear of losing external approval or we fear disappointing others. So many times we've built a life that gets applause, especially if we made so many great achievements in our lives. We had the family, the trophy husband, we had the career, we had the vacations or whatever. And we get this applause even if it's not our own performance based on what we truly, truly desire and not what we do, what we're expected to desire for our lives. Now, the next pattern is around the narrative of sacrifice. Now, there's so many of us women are raised with the narrative of you got to be the good woman and put others first all the time. Now, comment below if you've fulfilled that role. You sacrifice yourself, maybe sacrifice all the things that you wanted because you had to be there for everyone else. Now, the next pattern is around guilt. Guilt can be a great motivator to stay where you are because guilt can keep us tethered to situations that drain us. And the thought of abandoning responsibilities or abandoning people that no longer fit our lives can feel so unbearable. And again, like it's terrifying. And then the next pattern is the weight of obligation. Because again, as women, we're born into baggage and the weight of obligation that we owe it to others to maintain the status quo, to maintain the status quo. People are used to us being a certain way. So for us to now change and start becoming who we really desire to becoming, they don't like that. So we stay in that same place because we don't want to make other people uncomfortable or no longer serve their expectations, even at our own expense. And so, and let's face it, some women, we want to be that superhero. We want to be martyrs in our own lives because we feel that that's what we're supposed to do. Again, all of that baggage that we've been carrying, like, it's so heavy. And I'm strong, but it's heavy. Now, the other pattern is around loss, about loss of the future, because they know what they created in the past. And to now feel that, well, they're losing the present, but the future that they haven't even yet constructed, they can feel lost around that too because they're thinking like, well, what if I redesign my life and it's the wrong thing to do, or I didn't really think through what I really wanted and I designed this newer version of myself and it doesn't fit. What if they regret it? But again, in redesign, you get to just keep doing it until you get it right. Again, it's just like, the interior design of your home. You got to think of your life where you have to keep changing things around until it's just where it feels so homey and it feels like you. Now, the other pattern I want to address right now is around the fear of judgment. The fear of what others will think, say, or do if we deviate from the person they expect us to continue to be. You might be thinking, will I be seen as selfish? And to walk away from a life that from the outside might seem idyllic or successful, will that be a failure to move on to becoming or designing a life that truly fits me? That could be the questions that can keep you locked in fear and from redesigning a life that truly fulfills you and brings you joy. Now, the next pattern that I want to talk about is this void that you might likely feel is the terrifying prospect of stepping into a space without a clear map. And so many of us would rather stay in the known prison than venture out into the wide open spaces where there's so much to discover about ourselves and to rediscover maybe also those things that maybe when we were 10 that we had so wanted for our lives. So what I invite all of us to do is to start reframing the narrative. Because what I know now is that staying too long in a life that is no longer fulfilling or bringing you joy or feeling like you've really met your life's assignment, it's not a sign of weakness. It's really a testament to your resilience, your loyalty, and so many times it's a sign of your deep capacity for love. Because as women, we really truly want to do good by people. We want to take care of them. We want to be that nurturer. But this is a time of our lives where we have to come first and start nurturing ourselves. Now, the very act of recognizing that you've stayed in this life where you're feeling hollow, that you stayed too long, is a seed all in itself, that little tiny seed. And it just means that now you're ready to honor your own evolution, your own sprout. Because the seed of knowing that you stay too long and that now there's the seed of change where you get to create this life that truly belongs to you. Now, there's no need for being upset with yourself. There's no need for self recrimination. Just understand, just having a gentle and clear understanding of the forces, the patterns that kept you in a place that was no longer fulfilling to your soul. Now, the next invitation is by understanding these patterns being the first step towards breaking free and being able to actually go out into the wide open and to start experimenting with all of these new things, whether maybe you always wanted to be, you know, an artist, and now you get to, you invite yourself, you give yourself this permission to explore becoming an artist. You give yourself permission to becoming this fitness instructor, or travel agent, or whatever it might have been. I invite you to give yourself permission to start redesigning this phase in your life to one that's truly yours and to create a beautiful, beautiful life. So, if this conversation resonated with you, please like this video and share it with a woman who might be grappling with these invisible chains, these handcuffs that's keeping her in a place that is no longer fulfilling to her soul. And I ask that you also subscribe to the channel so that we can continue exploring these conversations so that you really truly design the life that is so fulfilling and joyful to you. I'm Lynette, and I'll see you in the next video.